An expert is defined as a person who has a comprehensive and authoritative knowledge of a skill in a particular area. Well, nobody has knowledge more authoritative on chips from around the world than Mr. Chip. Today we take 4 chips from the Far East and present them to a resident expert, and then we tell him why he may just be wrong. It's chip time. You tried that? You tried that. Chips from Asia. I'm Nick Nork from that pal Shade Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hey, that's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Now warn me. You're putting me on blast like that.
These instead of Mr. Chip, if these chips are from Asia, you should be like Chipson or something like that, right?
Chips.
Yeah, that's. Is that okay to say? I don't.
Sure.
Is that appropriate? All right. I got something that's pretty appropriate. It's a story. The headline is that singer divorces devilishly handsome ghost of a Victorian soldier after less than a year. All right. So there's a singer named Brocarde. It's a woman.
Brocarde?
It's Brocarde. Decent looking gal, right? She's like, I think upper 30s or something, they said.
All right.
So it says that.
I can mess with that.
This ghost, Eduardo, burst into her room one dark and stormy night and announced his love for her and then started to confide in her. They were married on Halloween 2022 in a chapel, and she posted a video of the ceremony where she was seen wearing all black with an empty space where Eduardo was supposed to be.
He didn't show up on the video? That's weird. Normally, there's a lot of ghost footage around, I figured.
But like as some marriages do, like
Maybe
there
he
were
got cold
issues. Yeah, there were issues early on. She says she was angry that her husband got too drunk on their honeymoon in Wales. Right, that's the first issue.
Wow, this ghost is a fucking lightweight. Who knew?
And then he would become increasingly possessive and switch between being warm and intense and threatening. He said that she always saw him dressed as a soldier. He was handsome, but he had an unsettling fascination with Marilyn Monroe.
The hottest ghost of all.
And actually that he would disappear for weeks at a time and then return smelling of Chanel No. 5, which was Monroe's patented perfume.
Oh, boy. Oh. This sounds like the dirtiest dog of ghosts, right?
I mean, he has access to Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Who could blame this ghost?
Does every ghost technically have access to her now? Like, is this every dead guy allowed to fuck her? Is that how that works?
If you're gonna marry a ghost, though, why wouldn't you want to marry the ghost that performs the best in the marital bed? Of course, I'm referring to Slimer, who gives amazing blowjobs, as we all know.
Oh yeah,
right. Well, it's a woman, right? So
he's got a big old tongue.
Yeah. I mean, Slimer is probably as popular as Marilyn Monroe in the afterlife. There's probably just a string of dudes outside his door, waiting to smell like Chanel No. 7, which is his famous cologne. Yeah, I mean, all right. Was anyone invited to this thing? Was it like, did she have like a reception? Like, was there like
It says she's a singer, probably not a very famous one, and needed to rouse up some album sales. Because she then wrote a song. She announced the split in her song, Just Another Anthem.
Announced the split.
Wow, we got a new Taylor Swift on her hand. She's just going to move through all the ghosts and write breakup songs about them all.
She dated Ted Williams and then...
She dated the ghost of Taft and then wrote a song, You Will Never Get Out of This Tub Ever, or whatever the Taylor Swift song is. I don't know many Taylor Swift songs.
Was the videographer at the wedding those guys from like the Ghost Hunter that have like drop a pencil in the corner and then go, "Oh, did you hear that?" Like, is that? Do you hear that? I think I heard him say, "I do." Like just yelling in the corner.
Did she find out
Mhm.
about about this ghost bang in Monroe by calling a ghost Joey Greco and have the ghost
Cheaters.
featured on Ghost Cheaters?
Ghost Gomez is helping him out.
Ghost Mez.
If Brocarde was your friend
Mhm.
and said she was marrying a ghost, would you attend?
No, I would no longer be Brocarde's friend.
All right, let me ask you this. Am I required to bring a gift, and what's on the menu?
You are required to bring a gift.
No,
it's going to be... Okay.
But what if the maid of honor is a very loose ghost Marilyn Monroe? Would you go just so you could maybe hook up with her?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this is a little suspicious, right? To first invent a husband, then invent your husband's infidelity. I think there's some holes in that story. Hey, she found sounds like she found more happiness than many of us can ever hope. So good for her.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that was the story.
We did what we could.
That was a thing I read.
If you were gonna marry a ghost, would you want that ghost in soldier's uniform all the time, or
No.
would you want it to like switch up different outfits for different occasions, maybe?
So it's theory like you die and you are stuck in that. Ghost hunters might say you're stuck in that whatever you were wearing when you died.
Yeah. Do I have to wear a REI cargo pants and a Target tee for all of the afterlife? Because I mean that's what I do all of the regular life, so I don't mind.
So if you die on the shitter, like, are you just walking around with like your underwear like at your ankles, just shuffling through the afterlife?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's what you're wearing. I don't think it's the way you're wearing it. Like, if your pants are around your ankles, you're doomed to shuffle this mortal coil with your pants around your ankles.
That's why I only shit with pants on.
This guy died with log half out of his butt, so now he's got just a turtle head poking out the rest of his afterlife. That'd be horrible.
If you died that one time you tried fucking an apple, then you have to walk around the afterlife with an apple on your dong forever.
If you got an apple jammed on your dong, is that what you're saying? I'm wearing an apple right now?
Yeah, that's my attire. Hey, what are you wearing, baby? Apple on my cock,
But officer, I was just wearing this horse. This isn't bestiality.
Of all the fruit you're gonna fuck, apple is literally the
bottom
choice.
Is difficult.
It's a baked apple, so it's a little... All right, what's the most fuckable fruit? Tell me.
Anything but apple.
Something big that doesn't have a core in the middle. Like a watermelon or something. Yeah.
You telling me to rather like fuck a pineapple than like, with all the sharpness?
No, I would not tell you that. That's also down there. It's covered in spines. Why does the word apple have to be in your sex toy? Okay, fine. Crab apple.
I mean, maybe like an orange might be all right? If you can get a little hole in the peel.
Well, yeah,
this is a good conversation.
I think it's like inherent to the concept that you need to carve a hole in it. I don't think yeah. Is there a fruit that naturally has a hole for your dong?
Beating your dick against the outside of an apple.
Whap, whap, whap.
Well, all right. Well, it's just us guys.
Cricket. You hear that? Stick your ear out the window and hear all of that clicking of the iPhone shutting off as people turn their podcasts off.
Listeners, send us your most fuckable fruits. You tried that at gmail.com.
There's so many people just unsubscribed that we can hear it a month in the future when this episode comes out.
So many episodes just frozen at 7 minutes in.
All right, well, we got 4 chips to eat, so we better get to them. Um, 4 chips, rate them on a 5-point scale. Love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. Let's start with the. No, I don't have all the packages. Let's start with this Lay's one. It's like Kobe beef or something, right?
Yes. Now, all of these came from my sisters. I don't remember which one, and I don't want to get yelled at, so they're going to be collectively responsible for what we eat today. But yes, this one is flavored like, I think it's supposed to. I'll look at the planning doc, but I think
it says artificial steak flavor. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
there's a big
Lay's
juicy
Kobe
steak
beef
on the package. Yeah, Kobe beef.
Oh, it's expensive steak too.
Yeah.
They're better than the Ruffles Walmart chopstick.
They're better than the Cheetos dog food flavor. Cheetos can of dog food.
They are better than the Bugle's Golden Corral sirloin.
All right, Geiger. What
Yeah.
do you think of these?
They are better than the Pringles rat burger.
Yes. Maybe my mind is just playing tricks on me, and I'm looking at this juicy steak on the package and thinking about steak, but it kind of does taste like steak. Like there's a steak seasoning flavor to it, obviously, like, and almost like a saltiness that approximates like the tang of like the blood in the steak. I don't know. Maybe I'm just maybe it's a total sense memory, but I am thinking of steak, and I'm tasting steak flavor when I eat it, and I love steak and I like chips. Maybe a little too, I don't know if it's almost like soy saucy. I'm not, something about it, maybe a little too like tang for me, but I like these. This is like that. I think these are tasty.
All right. Wow. Like that to start, Chad.
It does taste okay. It does not taste like steak.
No,
it doesn't taste like cutting open a fillet or
right.
Whatever. What I think it actually tastes like is if you ordered a steak, like medium rare or something, and the steak came with a side of potato chips, and you're cutting the steak open, and the like juice is oozing out of the steak.
Oh, hell
and like
yeah.
maybe some of the potato chips like soak up some of that juice. That's what it kind of tastes like to me, except minus the sogginess that comes with those potato chips.
Quick, get me an apple. I gotta take care of this.
Like baked potatoes, kind of fuckable if you think about it. But I
Yep.
I mean, you gotta let it cool down first.
Right, obviously.
I'm stalling because I don't know. I mean, this is definitely not a like that for me. I'll tell you that. I'm kind of torn between indifferent and dislike that. There's something about them that is a little bit off-putting, but I also don't really mind the flavor that much. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just in my head that's like kind of off-putting. So I'm gonna put them in a low-level indifferent to that. They're very strange, though.
They are strange. I was going to use the same example Chad gave, where it tastes like a potato chip that got some steak juice on it.
Mm-hmm. And then you were going to talk about fucking a baked potato after.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is... Look, if eating a real Kobe beef is like fucking a Honeycrisp, right? This is kind of like fucking a Red Delicious. Like, it's just really...
It might be better. They're bigger.
The seasoning, it needs to be like more to the seasoning. It just has like a muddy type of steak taste to it, and I don't get enough flavor. I'm going to give him a second indifferent to that. So we've got 2 indifferents and a like. Still, look, that in an episode like this where we're taking these really weird flavored things, that could be enough to win it.
Right.
Let's just get this squid one out of the way early. So what's the story on these?
These are hot and spicy grilled squid flavored Pringles. So our friend Julius Pringle is here. These things don't really... I can't smell much in the can.
I can't.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Now I got it. Yep. The squid?
I smell the hot and spicy.
Oh.
I mean, I like squid flavor. Like squid
Yeah.
is delicious, calamari and stuff. You know,
Right.
it's good.
Do you think that's gonna reflect in a Pringle?
Well, no, but like breading, you know,
Mhm.
around squid, like you know that could go together. Anyway,
I like breading.
I like, I love that squid flavor of breading.
and bread is like potatoes, sort of.
You guys ever go to the zoo and see a squid moving through the water just coated in panko breading in their natural habitat?
There's definitely a little spice to it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too intense, but
Little squid to it.
Whoa, little squid.
Yeah.
does it taste really squiddy to you? It doesn't taste that overly squiddy.
That first one I did does to me.
It tastes the appropriate amount of squiddy.
I don't think it tastes squiddy, but it tastes like a fucking aquarium.
All right, Chad, you're up first.
These are nasty.
Too squiddy?
Too squiddy.
It really has it has an aquatic flavor. I will say that, which I don't think is what I want from my Pringles. And it is too spicy for me too. Like after 2, I tapped out. Like the heat built up too much in my mouth from that. That combined with the sort of like watery flavor here is really gross. It's not my least favorite thing that I've eaten lately, but I am still just gonna slot it into a hate that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't. I expected to hate these, and I don't. I think the heat actually helps them a bit because I get a little bit more of that on my tongue than the squiddiness. I don't know. When you said that they reminded you of an aquarium, I think I started to sense that a bit more. But they're not bad. I really don't. Honestly, I'd be torn between which one of this one or the steak one I would go back to eat, and potentially I might even go back to these squid ones. I'm going to give it a second indifferent. I think it's very on par with the steak one. I could take it or leave it. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. It tastes very aquatic. It's Steve Zissou's the Pringles aquatic.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you mean, though. It has like a briny taste. I don't know if it's precisely squid, although I think, again, maybe it's just I'm thinking of squid as I eat it. I do kind of taste a squid flavor, and I like calamari. I think the spice is just fine. I actually don't even think it's that spicy, and I agree with Novak. If there wasn't something mixed in with the squid, it'd be too much squid, right? I'm so torn because I don't. My first bite, I was like, these are awful. And then I just kept eating them. And I'm staring at the can. I want to continue eating them, which I can do, but I probably don't need to.
Yeah.
They're not good, but there's something compelling about them. This is so weird. I'm going to give it an indifferent to split the difference because it's between, like, I kind of like them and I kind of don't, but I don't think they're bad.
All right, a couple of indifference and a hate. The steak still in the lead, but we got two ones that sounded a little better to me coming up later after the segment. All right, segment time, and I've got a new intro for this segment.
Oh boy!
Did we get sued for this?
Probably.
It's time for worst jobs.
Nice.
All right.
My dad used to listen to that song all the time when I was a kid.
Really?
I have heard that song like 100 times probably. Like, not of my own volition. Like, I hate that.
Like
song.
on a cassette tape or something?
And you don't like it
play it
because
in the
of
car?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he'd like play it, or like it was on the radio stations that he listened to. That kind
Who
of
sings that song?
Sheena
Easton, right?
Yeah.
He just listens to Sheena Easton 91.8.
I think my parents had the Sheena Easton cassette tape that got played a lot. Yeah.
Milwaukee used to have a mandatory Sheena Easton hour. Like it was mandatory Metallica, then mandatory Sheena was the next one they had.
This particular worst jobs. We've done the circus, we did Wild West, we did some generic ones. Today we're going to be taking you back to the medieval times. All right, a lot
the restaurant.
What? Nope.
Dinner tournament.
Time. A lot of shitty jobs back in the medieval times.
No.
Yeah.
Right?
I refuse to believe that.
Everything was dirty as fuck.
Rats everywhere. Couldn't get any Kobe chips to save your life.
Dying with your chainmail around your ankles.
Actually, I was thinking of this as I was putting this together, but whether you like, I don't like British comedy, but I do like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And there's some where a guy walks by and he says, that guy must be a king. And he says, why do you say that? He said, because he's not covered in shit.
Yeah, in the medieval times, like, you know, you couldn't even afford an apple to fuck. You had to just like fuck a bowl of porridge or something, right?
That sounds delightful.
Sounds like an upgrade from the apple, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to give you 2 jobs. You're going to pick which one you'd rather do, and tell me why. So we got 8 pairs here. First one is going to be a jester, right? You're performing for the king, making him happy, trying to calm him down if he's pissed off, probably. And you're going against a bard. Right, the bard, a minstrel, playing music. So kind of just a pretty standard one here. Geiger, you're going to start. Would you rather be a jester or a bard?
Now, weren't the bards also kind of like the news people of the day? Like they'd go sing a song of like what the knight did in the last town over or whatever. I think they did.
Yeah, sing about whatever the fuck you want.
I am currently fucking Maid Marian's ghost.
You just roll into town. My baby takes the morning train. People are like, what's a train?
I doth hate that song. Sir Galahad will not stop playing it. All right. Bard or jester? I will say I think this is fairly easy. I think it's bard, okay? And here's why. First of all, look, the 3 of us are hilarious dudes, but we can't play an instrument. Who do you think got laid a lot more? Guys who play the guitar or guys who are doing like stand-up comedy in the fucking middle of the square? It's definitely not the jester. Okay, that's one. Ladies dig the bard.
You just told me he's singing about news.
Well, he's doing that too, but sometimes he's singing "My Baby Takes the Morning Train." Like
no one ever got blown after singing about news.
Sir Sheena of Easton was singing about the news and the morning train. But I think that is
into town and like on his harp, like reads about the death toll of the bubonic plague, and then just drops his pants as the ladies line up.
I'm the last man in town. But so you're singing that. It's also like I feel like you're in the town just doing that for the common folk, whereas the jester, you're performing for the king, which is a lot of pressure. And some of these kings seem like big old douchebags. And like if you don't make them laugh, or you say the wrong thing, or you poke fun of him, like it's off with your head. They seem to have like a hair temper, right? I bet you they went through a lot of jesters, so it's a lot of pressure. Like basically, you're performing for the court, sure, but let's be clear, you're performing for like the king and queen. Because if they don't like you, you're out, and then you have no job, and you're out there. Either you're dead, or you're out there trying to learn how to play guitar, so you can be a backup to the bard.
That's right.
So I'm taking bard all the way.
Chad, you gonna sing about taking the morning wagon?
Yeah, Geiger touched on it there at the end. Like with the jester, I mean, I feel like anytime you watch Game of Thrones or any of these old things, right? Like if you make just the wrong joke, you know, some like drunk ass knight with something to prove is going to come out and immediately like run you through with his sword or whatever. Like, yeah, you are going to die as a jester pretty soon. The bard, you know, plays instruments. That's fun. Tells the news. That's something
fun.
Too that they do. But you know,
that's
hot. That's you know, I mean,
Walter Cronkite got puss. That's what I'm saying. Dude fucking slayed.
I'd be like the Andy Rooney of like bars. Like, what is it about walking through the mud or whatever?
That sounds more like Gallagher. That's more of the jester.
So yeah, I'm going bard.
Because none of us want to die on the toilet with our pants around our ankles.
So that's why I shit in my pants every morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next one, a knight. That's a good job, right?
Yeah, that's, well, theoretically.
It's prestigious.
Yeah.
Or the executioner. Okay, so the knight, the problem with the knight is that it's a higher chance that you will die, right?
Sure.
So you're either killing people out on the battlefield or you are killing them on a stage as they are presented to you. Okay?
Really, you're just a performer if you think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Chad, what do you think?
Well, this is grim, but the executioner a lot of times would wear like a hood so that people wouldn't actually know who they were, right? Like you have some degree of anonymity there. But you are...
That's the problem, is everyone knows who you are.
Too much fame.
I don't want to go somewhere where everyone knows my name if I'm the executioner. But like, it's the biggest problem is that you are killing some innocents. Like that is happening for sure. As a medieval,
definitely a problem.
as a medieval executioner.
Well, I didn't say they're innocent. He doesn't go around just slaying the innocents.
No. But I mean, like, because they'd be like, oh, like if you can't float in this pool of lava, then you must be guilty by the gods or whatever the fuck they did back then, right?
Or kill the jester for a bad joke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd just be like off with their head, right? So you gotta kill these people that probably didn't do anything wrong, just pissed off the wrong person. So that sucks. The knight gets all the glory. Maybe you get to fight some dragons, rescue a princess. But of course, me as a knight, I would like lose my first duel, like immediately. I don't know, but like I don't know. I just always wanted to wear the cool armor though, so I think I'm gonna go knight.
All right, guy, you're gonna make these people wander the afterlife with no head.
Yeah, Slimer gives great head in the afterlife. I remove their head for the afterlife.
The one guy, like right as you're about to like drop the guillotine or whatever, he's like, "Hold on, I really got to shit." Oh, too late, I already dropped it. So he's got half a log hanging out, half a head hanging out. It's just a disaster at both ends.
Yeah, he's dead. Put an apple on his dick and throw him in the pile.
Yeah, but Chad does bring up a good point that you do get to wear a hood, so that not everyone knows your name.
But no shirt, usually.
No, usually you have
no shirt.
And look, that's a problem for me because look at my body. No, I'm up on stage. You're like, that fucking pot-bellied weirdo is killing everybody. Like,
what's wrong with the executioner?
The executioner looks somehow malnourished and overfed at the same time.
Why does the executioner look like that apple I fucked this morning?
Yeah. Is the executioner melting?
It's 40 degrees outside. Why is he melting?
But Chad also brings up, that also illustrates another good point of like, those conditions also apply to me as a knight. Like, just the most unathletic, non-coordinated knight going out to save the 9 realms. I couldn't save realm 1. I think I couldn't probably lift the fucking sword. Like, I couldn't ride the horse or see. I'd be the worst jouster of all fucking time. Mm-hmm. I think I would look oafish. Now, the only thing I'm thinking though is this. I think sometimes knights were more ceremonial, right? Did they always have to fight, or somewhere in the back, like, "I'll bring up the rear," like, like, "I'm right behind you," and then he's like pussing out in the back. Sir Geiger the Cowardly would be my knight name.
Sir Geiger's in the retreat again?
I want to die the way I lived. The other thing I'm thinking, though, is that the life expectancy at that time was low anyway, right? So, like, would I rather die gallantly on the field of battle, like, somewhat quickly? Or would I rather, like, die of dysentery or gum disease or all the fucking shit they died from back then. Executioner. So from guillotine.
All these executioners and their gum disease.
I wear a hood, so I don't gotta brush my teeth.
Yeah. Right. So I think I'd rather die like the bard is not singing the song of the poor, disgusting executioner that shat his pants and didn't brush. Whereas the knight, yeah, I would go down a blaze of glory, and I would probably have a pretty good look. I'd have my pick of the women.
I dub thee Sir Gingivitis. All right, next one. Groom of the Stool. This was a popular job listed in various websites.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Oh, I love that website.
The king has to shit. You follow the king around, wait for his shit. You clean it out, and then clean his latrine.
Oh, I think you were going to say
you
clean his ass.
You literally meant stool as in his shit. I thought like he carried a stool around for him to stand on or something.
No.
Okay. No?
You clean out the king's shit so he doesn't have to put up with it.
Wait, so he doesn't
put up with it?
He just shits wherever he wants? He doesn't go into the bathroom or whatever?
No, the latrine,
you go into the bathroom
the
with
chamber
him,
pot, yeah.
And then you like remove the shit and you clean the latrine out so it's sparkling. You need to see his face in that pot.
Is that a full-time job? Like, how often the guy's fucking shitting?
it is under King Geiger, who loves to drink milk every day or whatever. Brown out his latrines.
Did thou take thine lactate today, sir?
Stool boy, I had 2 scoops this morning. Prepare yourself.
It's up against something that was probably not a job. But this one is washing the king's balls.
Wait, what various website did that come from, Novak?
So you get to clean the king's shit or wash his balls.
Okay, hold on. So you made up a job?
Famous medieval job.
Oh, wait a minute. So am I just cleaning shit off his balls anyway? Like I feel like no. Okay, so you're telling me King Henry VIII takes a vile dump, and I'm stopping at the balls?
Said that. He took a vile dump. He's
going to. They barely pasteurized food back then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's gonna take a big vile dump. And, like, as the stool man, I'm just stopping at the balls. Like, there's shit splattered all over his legs and taint and everything. But I'm like,
you're not wiping him as stool man.
Yeah,
you're not wiping him.
You said you're taking care of his ass, I thought. It's just the chamber pot? Oh, okay.
Just the pot and, the shit itself.
Yeah, no, look. King Henry has a ball cleaner, but he wipes his own ass, okay?
So he wipes his own ass.
You're cleaning his balls just during, like, bath time.
Just during bath time?
I don't know. Clean it more if you want.
I want to feel like I've earned my keep.
You're first. Okay. What would you rather do?
So it's cleaning the chamber pot or cleaning his balls is really what the choice is.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I mean, the pot? I because I feel like, again, when you're cleaning his balls, you're going to be cleaning up shit anyway because he's going to shit on his balls.
Why do you keep thinking he's got shit all over his balls?
How often? I've literally never shit on my balls in my whole life.
I feel like these again, you're going back to a day where hygiene was not nearly as advanced now. You didn't have manscaping. It's all these gnarly, hairy, sweaty balls because they're wearing these.
Didn't have manscaping.
Manscaping
is the only thing protecting balls from shit.
No, but like I'm saying,
their pubes were so long and gnarly, it just wrapped around their taint.
Like, I'm saying they had bad diets. They were fat and sweaty. They had to wear these heavy garments that made them sweaty.
Okay, for the sake of this, you're just cleaning his ball. He cleaned when he shit. He cleaned the balls himself.
Okay, but there's still going to be some funky like famunda cheese down there. There's going to be a lot of sweatiness, some taint sweat.
I mean, there might be like some leftover toilet paper bits. Those might have shit on them.
Yeah. I think that would be gross. And I think as humiliating as it would be to clean out a bucket of shit, it's an object. I could get around that. Being the guy known throughout the land as the guy who follows the king around and rubs his balls until they're shiny is gross. Like, that's demeaning. He'd be like, "Ball boy, come here," and he'd like snap his fingers, like, "Yes, sir, humble sire," and I'd kneel down and start fondling his testy, and then like, what if he got hard? That'd be weird.
And make your job easier because now the dong's out of the way.
Yeah, I suppose. So I think, yeah.
Chad, do you agree?
No, I don't agree.
I don't agree.
You're eager to clean the king's balls?
All right.
Yes.
All right. First of all, let me explain. I got a couple points. First of all, it's going to take way less time to clean his balls than to clean his shit. Okay, because the balls, they're like kind of small. You just give them like a little soap on your hands, whatever, quick rub. 30 seconds, maybe a minute, you're done for the day. Because how many baths is this guy taking? Like max one a day, maybe even like one a week. This guy's shitting 2-3 times a day, probably. You got to clean that out every single time.
You are passing out from a once weekly ball wash. You are going to get choke on that fetid stench. I'm just telling you. Fucking things percolating under that robe.
I think you are way overestimating how nasty their balls were back then.
All right.
I really don't think their balls.
All right.
I really don't think their balls were that much grosser than, say, mine.
Okay.
So I will take the ball cleaner.
Sound eager.
Next one. All right. The first one is leech collector. The job of a leech collector would have been to go wade through muddy water and collect leeches, because a lot of people at that time thought like leeches were good for like medical issues. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you just have to wade into the pond and collect leeches. Or versus the rat catcher, which was another popular job, that there were rats everywhere. You go around the castle killing these rats by any means necessary. So Chad, you're up first here. Would you rather collect the leeches or kill the rats?
Where I'm collecting the leeches from like ponds and shit,
yeah,
you said? Or,
right.
How do you collect them? Just like they attach themselves to your skin and you pick them off, or are you like scooping them up?
Yeah, I think you have the king wade into the pond and then you collect them all off of his balls.
Yeah. That is a consideration.
I think leeches are kind of nasty. I mean, obviously rats are nasty too, but like leeches, something about leeches just really grosses me out. They're like slippery, they're like wet, they like suck blood and stuff. Whereas rats just carry like all the worst diseases. So he probably wouldn't live that long as the rat catcher. I don't know. The rat catcher could be fun, right? You could employ like a team of cats to help you out, right? It could be like a whole thing. I don't know. You get to stay inside, so I'll go rat catcher.
Okay, do you agree?
No, hold on. You get to employ a team of cats?
Yeah, you got like your whole cat squad behind you.
Let's go,
and you're
cats!
Like, you're like, yeah! Fluffy, take the left. Noodles, take the right.
You think the rat catcher just sat in a chair and watched the cats go clean the castle out?
I mean, I spent a lot of time training those cats. Okay?
You're allergic as shit to cats.
Yes.
I mean, aren't you allergic to the world in the medieval times? You know, they didn't have any Claritin back then.
I think rats are disgusting, and you said it yourself. Like, the plague didn't happen because of leeches. Like, you're going to be exposing yourself to diseases. I think rats are vile. I think they're gross. Those beady-eyed fucks. So in one case, I'd like to kill them, but in the other case, I don't want to be near them. And again, that's a job where, like, if you're not cleaning out the king's chamber pot full of rats, he's going to get pretty upset. And then you might meet the executioner. But whereas like leeches, like, so they suck a little blood. Just pick them off. You know what I mean? Like, just who cares? And they do like leeches can help with bloodletting and do all that other stuff. For a guy who's worried about wet, shiny, wriggly things, you want to go fucking polish the king's balls. That's not really.
Balls are not wriggly.
He's gonna dangle them in your face. I think I'd rather catch leeches. Like, a leech is like a tiny little thing that can't really harm you. A rat is like this big nasty thing with teeth and claws that can like infect you and kill you. So I'd rather do leeches.
All right. Next one. Would you rather be a falconer right? You get to walk around. It's a pretty cool job. You walk around with the falcon and that big glove on your arm.
Yeah, the glove.
I don't know what the fuck that you do.
Well, you have it fly from one side of the stadium to the other. And...
Clean the falcon's balls.
Or a philosopher, right? It might be a good job because really, what the fuck are you doing? Yes. Nothing.
Just sitting around saying shit.
You just say smart shit.
Just make up words and stuff.
All right. So we're on Gagger. What do you think?
Yeah, no, this is easy. Philosopher is a low risk job. You just have to sound witty and pithy at times. Like, you can make up whatever you want. No, none of these people are going to live long enough to know if you were right anyway. And you can just sit around going like, but what are leeches truly? And stuff like that. Like, it's really simple. Like, here's what I think. I don't know. The earth is flat. You don't have to be right about anything. Look, there's plenty of philosophers today.
But that philosopher was right, actually.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
Coincidentally.
You probably get killed for thinking it was round back then, right?
Yeah. They thought the Crusades was an inside job.
No, hear me. Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Really?
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
I am Sir Joe of Rogan. You shall doeth your own research. I think I would just like us to see what the dragon's side is. The dragon's breathing fire into the microphone. That's actually a really good point. I think you don't have to be right about anything. They were the original lazy bullshit artists. Whereas the falconer, now, there's two great parts of it being a falconer. A, you look badass. You look badass just like wrangling the falcon. And B, you get to call yourself the falconer, which sounds super cool. However, C, the problem that you're not thinking of is that, like, you see the successful end product of the falconer when you go to, like, the medieval times or whatever. There's a whole bunch you're missing where the falcon's just like fucking pecking your eyes out and scratching the shit out of you angry because you're trying to like tie it to your arm or whatever the fuck they do. So I don't want to do that. That sounds like a lot of work. I can barely train my fucking dog and even she's a dipshit. So I think I'd rather be a philosopher and really have zero pressure to actually be accurate in my day-to-day work.
You reach in?
The Black Plague was caused by 5G. I know. I think I'm gonna go Falconer here. I mean, yeah, like the journey to get there is a little tough, right? Like, you got to actually like work with the bird or whatever. But then you've got like this friend/servant who is like the coolest thing in the world, right? You like, hey, get that mouse, and it just like flies down and like kills a mouse, right? Like, how fucking cool is that? Like, hey, take that sandwich from that guy, and it just flies down and gets a sandwich for you. You know, stuff like that.
He just speaks English and understands what the fuck you're telling him.
Yeah, I taught it.
Not DoorDash. I don't know.
I taught it the command of get that sandwich from that guy. Like, that was the command I taught it.
Just swiping apples off guys' dicks.
I taught it to like pull guys' pants down right before they die.
Now you're stuck that way.
It's just like flying over the battlefield looking for guys about to get stabbed. Swoops down, pulls down their pants right before they get stabbed.
Also, like, I don't know at what point in medieval history the sandwich was invented. I don't know. You're just grabbing a grilled cheese off of a fucking commoner.
I'm worried about why our philosophers just the fucking conspiracy theorists.
Because you don't have to be right.
That's not philosophy.
Look at, he went down ye old YouTube rabbit hole. So yeah, Falconer.
All right. The next one is the squire. Right, the squire helps the knight get his shit on before carry all everything out before he dies. Carry everything right. Make sure if the knight happens to get stabbed in the battlefield, he pulls his pants down before he dies. Versus the whipping boy. Now it says, there is doubt about whether this was a real thing or not, but some stories tell of boys who were educated with princes or child kings and received the punishments earned by their betters.
Oh my
Reputedly,
God.
the sons of noblemen, a whipping boy would be beaten because they could not hit the princes. So, like, the prince fucks up,
Right.
they just turn to you and smack you in the face.
Yeah. They dispute it's a real thing, but it is a real thing on Pornhub, I'm pretty sure.
So
That's
I
the
mean,
various website.
that sounds worse in theory because you're getting your ass kicked.
In theory.
But the squire's out on the battlefield, right? That's a dangerous fucking place to be.
Yeah.
Trying to arm this knight, and you're not armed, right? You're basically just a regular dude out there on the battlefield, right?
You won't have any arms. They're getting chopped off by the first
right before you die. You must wander the afterlife with no arms. So, Chad, you're up first. What do you think?
Okay, there is a chance though that you could be the whipping boy of like the one cool prince in history, you know, who's like a good kid and doesn't grow up to be like a spoiled piece of shit, you know, incest bred, whatever they are, right? And he actually then it'd be cool because you'd be like hanging out with royalty. You'd probably get to go to like all the royal parties. You know, you'd get all the sloppy seconds. It'd be great. So.
You're having sex with a sloppy second, and he just walks in and socks you in the face.
How old are these fucking kids?
I mean, don't you get to stick with them through adulthood? I guess.
The medieval times, it was like weren't you getting married at like 12 back then? I mean, it was probably an elevated cycle.
So, anyways, I'll take Squire. And then you just get to live the life with the royals. You get to go to all the coolest parties, right? You get like sloppy seconds on the turkey leg that's over the, you know, like the rest of the leftover food. But the chances of that are very, very small.
Is that what sloppy seconds means? Eating leftovers?
Yeah, that's what it means.
Got it.
My name is Sir Hansen. What is this scroll?
Why did you carve these things onto Whipping Boy's back?
It said here you were asking for a new wench to wash your balls.
But yeah, I think Squire could also be a glamorous life too, because you know the knights get like to do some fun things and maybe get some sloppy seconds from the knights.
All right, Gagger.
So I'll take Squire. I'll take Squire.
Gagger, you agree?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing about a squire is that like you're assisting the knight in battle, like you're their second, right? So you could like get drunk with all the other squires, and it'd be a bunch of sloppy seconds running around. Or you could fuck all the knights run off. Am I right? But I don't like. Yeah, I
you fuck the applesauce.
You have to fuck the apple after the other guy fucked it. The ookie apple. I think it's. Here's the thing. I was along for the ride with Chad because I was thinking, okay, like let's look at my skill set. Okay, it is not lifting a grown man in a suit of armor anywhere, getting him on a horse, giving him weapons.
Lifting him in a suit of armor? What fucking squire is this?
Because like when they fall in battle, didn't they? Because it was hard to get up in the suit of armor. I think they had to help them to their feet and stuff and get them back on their horse.
Sir Lesnar, put me under my horse.
And so like I couldn't do any of that. What I can do is get the shit kicked out of me. I'm built for that. I've got the right demeanor for it. And you might get to live if you, I guess, is it like you live in a like a shitty house like everyone else and they just call you up?
God damn, that whipping boy could take a beat.
But like, is it like you live in a crappy house?
Let's give him the finest velvet cloths.
And then like once a day they call you in and be like, here's all the shitty thing, this asshole did all day, and just beat the fuck out of you and then send you back to your shitty house. That would suck. That's
no, I think they want to hit you while they're angry.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I could. I'm a charming guy. I think I could get on good graces with this prince to keep him, like, hey man, we're buddies. Don't get my shit kicked in, right? And then I can go to the parties. I can have sloppy seconds of food, as we were talking about before.
Right.
And I think I could. I think that'd be a better life for me than trying to like chase a knight on the battlefield and like without a weapon. Yeah. my options are washing the king's balls or getting my face punched. I'll do that.
We have two more. Gotta get to it. Yeah. All right, the next one. First job's Pure Finder. So apparently dog poop was very sought after at the time. It was used as a drying agent by tanneries to make bookbinding leather. So the rules of supply and demand meant that collecting dog poop became a full-time job, and it was called Pure Finders. They roamed the area hunting for dog droppings. All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's your first one. You walk around picking up dog shit.
Shit collector sounded weird.
I mean, I have that job right now.
Exactly.
Why don't I get paid for it?
Or you could be the nitpicker.
Oh,
all right.
boy.
Was where the name came from.
I also have that job every time I leave a movie. Am I right? All right.
Am I right? Yeah.
Okay. Well, am I?
So this is a person who would pick through people's scalps to find lice and get the lice out of there, and then use lavender oil and lice combs to get rid of them. All right. So you're either walking around picking up dog shit or picking lice out of people's hair. Geiger, what do you prefer?
Yeah. So people back then just read books that were like made of dog shit. Is that like,
That's right.
Okay.
Philosopher just walks around with turds in his hands, just staring into it,
leaping through this pile
the
of
secrets
dung.
of the universe.
I would not recommend going to the library during August. It is rather pungent. I think there was a lot of research on corn back then, apparently. Every page included it.
I mean, we still read books made of dog shit, right? Have you read the Da Vinci Code? All right, we can cut that. Go ahead.
Like a real nitpicker over there. I will take dog shit collector. I'm sorry, Pure Finder, because I feel like that's easier. Like I can see a pile of shit on the ground, pick it up, and put it in a bag. Like Chad said, I'd do it today. Sitting there meticulously combing through a bunch of people's hair looking for live insects is disgusting. It opens me up to getting lice, and then I got to wash their hair, which is a pain in the ass. So I would think that's grosser than just picking up the occasional bag of poo and turning it over to the bookbinder.
Yeah, I agree. Nitpicker is nasty. That is really, really gross. Poop, I don't mind the dog poop thing. And maybe you meet some friendly dogs, right? Like maybe you get a pet dog and then all you have to do is just follow that dog around all the time, So yeah, feed the dog lots of laxatives.
I just realized, Chad, you've been kind of the Pure Finder of our podcast. Every time you yell, "This is dog shit."
That's right.
All right. The last choice here is first tax collector. Right, walking around collecting tax from people, you're gonna be fucking hated by everyone. Just taking the poor people's money, giving it to the king, who's already rich as fuck. Versus the sin eater. The practice of sin eating was most common in Wales and the Welsh border region of England. It says it usually involved eating a piece of bread placed on the chest of a recently deceased person. In doing so, the sin eater took on the sins of the departed. Okay.
Jesus.
So
eating bread off of corpses?
Yes. So
that's the job?
You put a piece of bread on the corpse, right?
Can I put some butter on it? Or...
You mind if I butter your sins up?
Your sins aren't very tasty.
Spread a little peanut butter on your sins.
Holy shit, this guy's sins are dry. Fuck. And that was versus collecting the taxes. All right. So in theory, collecting the taxes might seem worse because you're like pissing people off, and incinerating people might be glad, but in theory you're taking all their sins and you're kind of fucked after that, right? You're going to wander the afterlife full of sins. So what do you think? Chad, you up first.
This Sin Eater sounds like the original grifter job. Like this is like they fucking call it psychic, or right, or like this is Miss Cleo from like back in the medieval age. It's like, call me now for your free breading or whatever. And it's like I guess if you actually believed that the sin eating thing was real, this would be worse. But since we know it's not real, I will take eat bread. Like, how many people actually got to eat bread back then, right? Like, nobody. Just the kings.
Yeah,
hey, you got any more sins? I'm pretty hungry.
They got the luxury of eating stale bread off a dead corpse. That's so awesome.
I'm trying to carbo load for a marathon tomorrow. Can you send a few corpses my way?
I got a long pure finding journey ahead of me. I'm double duty tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, Chad brings up a good point in that might be like, if you're poor, that might be an easy way to get some food. Like, you have access to bread off the chest and the apple off the dick. Mm-hmm. But look, I don't look, we don't all know what's out there in the afterlife. And other than Marilyn Monroe and her gorgeous, bodacious bod. But I
tried to ask the philosopher, but he just fucking told me the moon landing was fake, so I don't
know. Yeah. Yeah, he was. Then he tried to sell you Bitcoin. I think I don't want to end up because the people back then were probably shitty. They probably did shitty stuff. I don't want to go to hell forever just to enjoy bread now. And the tax collector, yes, no one's being mad. But I think at a certain core level, people understand that that's your job. You're just doing your job. I'm just reporting the news. I didn't create it, right? I'm just here to get the money for a rich guy that you don't have. Mm-hmm. So, and then even if because the thing is, you're indemnified, because even if you are a shitty person when you're doing that, somebody will just eat bread off your chest and take it for you later. So I think I'll be the tax collector.
That's a good thought.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Let's move on to our last couple snacks. Let's do the fried chicken Cheetos. What's the bag say?
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah. He's like holding a chicken leg, piece of chicken. Chester is very excited. He's like flying through the air, feet up, as if he dove off a speeding plane to grab this chicken.
Hey, dude.
The only English I can see is Cheetos corn snack garlic fried chicken flavor. That's all it says.
Ooh.
Yeah. Is it spicy?
No.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
Is it tasty?
Well.
Cool.
Nope.
It doesn't sound bad in theory.
Yeah.
When you read fried chicken.
I mean, breading a Cheeto is basically breading, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically calamari.
Right. This is more breading on these than you see at SeaWorld. Even just the color is unappealing. It's like a murky browner version of a Cheeto. The taste is not good. It doesn't taste like fried chicken. I don't know what it tastes like really, but it just tastes like a really bad Cheeto with like a Cheeto with all the cheese removed and some random like shitty flavoring mix put on top. They're really bad, really disappointing. To me, it's sort of a border of hate and dislike, but just the execution's so poor, I'm going to give it a hate that. Geiger?
The executioner or the execution?
Uh-huh.
I think that's Geiger up there. No.
Oh, goodness.
That's just the philosopher shouting a conspiracy again. And he's like, yes, but I do think David Stern froze that ping pong ball in the draft. What are you talking about?
Yes, they're talking about NBA draft. I think Lancashire could really use Patrick Ewing this year. I'm with Novak. These are bad. The only improvement over this, and I don't love regular Cheetos, full disclosure, but the only improvement is that you don't get that Cheetos dust all over your fingers. That's the only thing that's better about these. The rest of it all sucks. The flavor is like sweet. And I don't know if it's just like Asian fried chicken, if it's like, there's that like Korean fried chicken that's more like a sticky glaze with the breading. Maybe this is what this is. It doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste like that either, because that's got more like spice and seasoning to it. The sweetness is off-putting to me, and I don't like the texture. These are bad. I am going to give this a dislike, not a hate, but I don't like them.
Chad, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty nasty. I agree with you guys. The garlic, I love the flavor of garlic, but this tastes like the flavoring here is like sort of like a rancidy kind of garlic. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't actually really taste like garlic. There's no chicken. It's still that same Cheetos like consistency that sucks. These are bad. It's a strong dislike, Dad.
Couple dislikes and a hate. That's definitely the worst of the day so far. Finally, we have is it garlic baguette sun chips?
Yeah.
Garlic baguette. I am stoked for these.
I opened these to give the chips to Novak, and it was the most intense garlic smell I had ever smelled in a snack we ever had. It was...
I like sun chips a lot normally.
Mm-hmm.
I like garlic. I like bread and breading, as we've established. Wow! No, boy! That's like eating a whole clove of garlic on every chip.
Is there like a sweetness? Is it almost like you taste like a little butter, too?
Mm-hmm. I mean, this one, you butter the baguette before you eat it off the corpse. That's what these chips are for.
Yeah.
Sun chips.
The sun eater.
Come in with a fancy French baguette and lay it on the corpse and start making a sandwich.
You would not want to eat this before your ball washing job. The king would be offended by your breath. It's very garlicky.
Falcon, grab that baguette off that corpse. That's a command I taught him.
Whew, all right, Geiger, what say you?
Well, this is tough. I love garlic. These definitely taste garlicky. The butter is almost making it too sweet for me. Too sweet. It's got like a weird, like sweet cream taste almost to it, like that sweet. Like this doesn't taste like a garlic bread to me. Like garlic bread is more like when I picture a garlic baguette, I picture something more salty and garlicky than this.
Well, it has. If you look at the picture, it's almost like a cream cheese, like an herbed cream cheese looking thing that's like spread on it.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a more traditional butter like we'd have here in the U.S.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't think they're bad. I was looking forward to these more than anything we're going to eat today, especially after I smelled them, because it was like smelled so intensely of garlic. And most of my complaints about these types of snacks sometimes is that it's just not like this flavor isn't intense enough. It's not the case here. I think I have to go indifferent again. I like the garlic flavor, but I don't love the sweetness, and it's just holding me back. I like salty chips, and these are not giving me that.
All right, Chad, what do you think?
I mean, these are far and away my favorite of the day. I like the flavor. I don't mind the sweetness. It's a little too intense. Like they have this garlic baguette flavor, and it does taste like a garlic baguette. Like it tastes like that picture on the front, but they have that flavor dial cranked all the way up to 10, and it makes it so that you can't quite eat as many chips as I would want to eat, because as you eat more, the garlic and everything builds up, and it's just a little too overwhelming. I'd like them to take the down just a couple notches, make them just a little more subtle, and then these would be a love dat for me if they had done that. As it is, I still think it's good. I'm gonna give it a solid like dat.
Whew. All right, so I'm at the point here where if I have a indifferent, we're gonna tie. Anything better, it's gonna win. Less, the steak will take the win. These could really have used a deft touch. The same, just like the ball washer. Like you can't go in that aggressive, right?
It's less ball washer and more stool cleaner, as the flavor has just been sprayed everywhere.
Right. If you go in with this intensity to ball washing, you're going to be staring down the axe of a shirtless gagger.
My liege! Just like rubbing those balls.
It's way too much and over the top. All I taste is garlic, right? I don't even know why it's bothered to be called garlic baguette. And I guess is garlic bread not a term like outside of the US? Like, is it not called garlic bread? Is it more specific with like the type of bread?
I mean,
sure.
I bet you they call it garlic bread in Italy. I believe that. Yeah.
So as it is,
Yeah,
I think
question.
it's just a sort of failed. I definitely like the first two we tried better than this. Wow. It's kind of a fail. I'm really disappointed because it was I specifically had to do this one last because I was looking forward to it. It's been a letdown. I'm going to give it a dislike dat.
Wow.
Yeah, which
I'm not too far off, I suppose.
Is going to put the Lay's steak. I think Geiger, that was your favorite of the day.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah.
If I had to eat one of these, oddly enough, I'd probably eat the squid one. Chad, which would you pick?
I mean, this one's the only one I gave anything higher than indifferent.
Range of opinions today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely hit or miss with these flavors that our palates are not so used to.
Yeah.
So that's it. Geiger, where can the listeners contact us?
Well, again, thanks to my sisters for collecting these and for
thank you so much.
Thank you, Becky and or Jenny.
I don't know if the purpose was to get us discussing things to hear us go for 15 minutes like you normally do, but at least they were interesting this time around. If you have ever been a professional ball washer, if you have ever been married to a ghost, handsome or not, if you are petrified that you're going to die with your pants around your ankles and shit coming out of your ass, if you have eaten a lot of sin in your day, or just a lot of bread, anyway, if any of those things happen in your life, which I'm sure they have, you can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We have a Facebook group called You Tried Dat. We're on Twitter, #YouTriedDat. Let us know what you think of the snacks we've tried if you've had them. Suggest snacks that we could try on the podcast. If you'd like to be a guest, we could probably arrange that, right? Let's do it. If you'd like to ask a question for the mailbag that we've never done other than like twice. And most importantly, thank you so much for listening. If you do enjoy the podcast, we'd love it if you could leave us a review and tell your family and friends. All
right. So here's your choice. You have to spend the night with one of these two in your bed. A rat. Right? They're going to be under the covers the whole time. So
a rat. Like a single rat?
Yeah, he's going to be under the covers. Whatever happens, happens.
If it cleans my balls, it cleans them.
Or a leech. Right? So the rat may scratch you out. Well, I don't know what a rat's going to do to you, but it may not do much. But a leech, most likely going to be grabbing onto your skin and going at you. So you got to spend the night with one, which you...
Can leeches move?
Yeah, if I put a leech on the other side of the bed, I don't think it can get over to me, right?
He's gonna get it. Yeah, he's gonna get you.
He's gonna get you.
All right, I'm
gonna
Googling, can leeches move?
And so, do I have to tie a piece of cheese to my dick, or is
on land? Leeches move by controlling their muscles, both by widening and narrowing them. So they crawl like an inchworm's crawl, basically. So yeah. It's Novak's right. It's gonna get you.
Yeah. So what you taking?
Leech. I'd much rather like have a leech suck my blood for a few hours than have like be woken up with a rat biting me. Or like crawling on my face or something. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, he's gonna be there the entire afterlife too.
It's gonna be there and it's be shitting in the bed. It's gonna die next to me, like on top, like shit coming out of its ass while I'm shitting myself.
What?
Are you human centipeding this rat? What's happening here? I mean, it could be like a gentle rat. You know what I mean? Like a ratatouille rat or something.
Yeah.
You know?
It's Remy.
Yeah, it's Remy. Yeah. He just wants you to cook some delicious food. He just wants you to fry up some nice bread to put on some corpses. That's all.
He's controlling your hands to pull your pants down right before you die.
So I'm gonna roll the dice with the rat. The leech wants to suck your blood no matter what. But
Novak, you break the tie.
You are going to be this rat's whipping boy. Okay, he is.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about it. He's going to cuck you.
Wait, what? The rat's fucking my wife in front of me?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this Rat Hogan? What's happening?
I didn't say you were in the bed alone. All right. Your wife is also in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
this does sound like something on Pornhub, like rat fucks wife while guy sleeps through it.
Yeah, that's that must be the last genre on the internet I haven't watched yet.
A leech, how long can you have a leech on you before it does real damage, do you think?
I don't know, big it is, probably. Yeah. 40-pound leech drinks you in 2 gulps.
How long to leech kill you? I wrote, how long to leech kill you? It says, it'll fall off on its own after about 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah, but then because of the blood thinners, you can keep bleeding out of that hole for up to 36 hours.
Blood thinner? Don't take blood thinners.
No, I mean it thins your blood. It's saliva or whatever.
Thinner.
So like you're gonna wake up. So all right. So it's gonna take like 2 hours to crawl across the bed to you. It's gonna suck on you for 45 minutes, and then you're just gonna like wake up in like a small pool of blood.
You're gonna wake up to a small pool of blood when the rat bites your rib cage.
Not if the rat's too busy fucking my wife, dude.
Yeah, fair point. You look over, the rat just thumbs upping you.
High five the rat.
Go get me some cheese, brother.
I'm just like whispering in the rat's ear, like she likes if you put a finger in her butt.
Whoa!
I'm all the way in her butt. I am. Wow.
Okay. That'll do for this time. We'll be back next time. Trying out 3.
Deuces.
Just another